All right. Pre-show banter with Eric and Frank. Break will be here shortly. We haven't started the show proper yet. We usually start at 7 Eastern Time if you want to be here live. Um, for the YouTube people, I don't know what happened, but it didn't record um, the show for last week on YouTube. You can check that out on rpgrinders.podbean.com. Or you can head over to twitch.tv/RPgrinders and, you can catch up on last week's episode. We had Benjamin Dixon on, the prominent political commentator for CNN and others. Um, it was a good discussion, Eric. I thought the interview went pretty good. I don't think I missed anything. But it was a real fun interview. Hopefully you guys will go check that out. Today on the show, no interviews, but a few news stories. What else is going on? Eric's got a few reviews again, which is cool because this week not a lot of news, so that's really cool. Some coronavirus updates. That's been kind of scaring people, so we'll talk a little bit about that. Good week for Bernie Sanders, Eric. He took the first three primaries, looking good going into South Carolina. He may pull off an upset there, not 100% sure, but Tuesday is going to be. We're going to have lots to talk about next week, Eric. I think Tuesday is going to be basically the coronation of Bernie Sanders as the nominee, so that's pretty exciting.
I don't know. I'm kind of worried that he's doing things that jeopardize his campaign by saying dunderheaded things.
Like what specifically?
Did you watch the Jimmy Dore video where Bloomberg basically tried to red bait him by mentioning the fact that Russia was apparently trying to help him win?
Well, yeah, he was briefed on that. What do you want Bernie to lie and say he wasn't briefed on it? Like, he was briefed on it. Like, he handled it like a champ, dude. I mean, it's all bullshit.
He could have said other things that would have been a better choice.
What would you want him to say, Eric? What honestly?
He could have just brought up the fact that Bloomberg's trying to buy his election.
Well, he does that all the time. I mean, he's called him like an oligarch like a billion times.
Well, he should probably just do it all the time instead of just most of the time.
Well, we're not worried about it, Eric, because after Super Tuesday, I don't think we'll have to worry about Bloomberg much longer. He's got infinite money, and he's going to try his best to buy, delegates here and there, but he hasn't won a single state yet. And until he wins a state, I don't want to hear anything about Bloomberg. And Bernie's treating him like he should be treated, like an outside threat that is trying to buy the election. And that's all that he needs to do. He's been parrying everything else, man. I mean, that last debate, Eric, was awful.
Are you gonna? I did see a stink. Like, I needed to do more research, but I wanted to talk about like how Bernie Bros were apparently doxing people.
Okay, that's a false narrative. Here's the thing, Eric. Like, there's toxic people in every campaign, right? So why is it that the quote-unquote Bernie Bros, which I kind of find offensive because...
The thing was, I think they were doxing people who were pointing out the fact that they did have crappy campaign advisors in their staff. Or something like that.
It's so weird because I think Bernie's got the most well-oiled machine out of any of the candidates. I think Elizabeth Warren comes close. Wyland, let us know if you can hear us in chat. I see you there, but don't know if you can hear us. Let us know if you can hear. I mean, honestly, Eric, like, he's got some of the best people that you can have. I mean, Chuck Rocha almost single-handedly brought Nevada around and turned that state into a Bernie state. He's doing his best in South Carolina. Joanna Bree, I can't even pronounce her name right. She's an awesome surrogate. Nina Turner is absolute fire. Anytime, thanks, Wyland. Really, really appreciate that. Anytime you hear Nina Turner talk, you can't help but get fired up. I mean, I don't know who they're talking about. Like, I've seen some of that vitriol, Eric, but I think it's I really think it's other campaigns, surrogates putting out BS, man.
I do want to know if he's even addressing those things and demystifying them.
He did. He did the Bernie Bro thing for sure. And he countered that by saying, you know how many attacks Nina Turner and Joanna Bree Gray has been receiving it on a daily basis. Like this is, I mean, he's not. What is he supposed to do? Tone police every single person that supports him, Eric? Like, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I know. Because maybe I don't know. Maybe that is the Democrats' strategy, just to try to preoccupy with defense, and then not actually concentrate on his campaign.
Yeah, that's the only, at this point, Eric. That's all they can do. You know, I mean, that's pretty much all they can do, Eric. They can't vet him for his history because he's got a 50-year history of doing the right thing. So what do? You attack the people that support him, and that never works. If you look back at the history of politics, it just never works, dude. Like it always fails. I mean, I just don't know what else to say.
I do want to talk about not just the coronavirus thing, but in how Trump's dealing with it. But I also want to talk about how Abe's dealing with it.
Well, sure. I'm curious because I don't know how they're handling it. So that'll be interesting for sure, Eric. It couldn't be much.
Abe is basically just Trump anyway. So.
Yeah, pretty much.
The only problem is that he's actually somewhat more competent.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's true, too. I mean, anybody's more competent than the leadership we have, man. So, it is what it is. I don't even know what to... all right, break. We're just waiting.
The voting situation is almost the exact same thing, too. It's only the old people are voting, and the old people are terrible.
Yeah, well, this year, Eric, is going to be a different story, man. There's the tide's turning, so... if you're just joining us, we haven't started the show proper.
Although I think part of the reason the young people aren't voting is because they're too busy looking for work, or they're working.
That's true too. Working 2-3 jobs, which is another thing that we should do. We should implement.
Do they have absentee voting in Japan? I don't know.
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how.
I mean, they probably do, but still, they're such workaholics. They probably don't even have time to do that.
Yeah. Hey, Break. Do we have you on the line?
Yeah.
What up?
I'm here.
All right. How you doing, man?
I was all right, and then I just watched that Donald Trump interview.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Lots to talk about. Breakman for sure. Wow.
My head hurts. It just.
I'm sick and I got a migraine.
Insane.
I don't even need to get them to make my head hurt. My head already hurts.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, don't watch his interview or your head might blow up or something.
Jesus Christ! It couldn't get much worse than what's going. But you and I will cover it very well in our Stinkos, I'm sure. Break.
Yeah.
Lots to talk about on the show today. We have not started yet. We will be talking some news. Interesting things happen in politics. I've got a beef to pick with Shadow of Mordor, so I'll be talking more about that.
Oh boy!
Whoa! Well, don't piss off Sauron.
I got breaking news.
What's that?
GDC has been officially canceled because of coronavirus.
Wow. That's something.
Well, they were leading people leaving left and right. So if you don't have any guests, there's no point doing the show right now.
Yeah.
Kicking it down to summer probably.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Don't blame them. I just find it odd. I'm not skeptical of the coronavirus at all. What I'm skeptical is we're more worried about an existential threat of the coronavirus, but yet we don't care about healthcare in this country, apparently. I mean, 60,000 people a year.
But in the meantime, nobody's taking it seriously either. I mean, it does need to be taken seriously.
No, I understand that, Eric, but so does the flu. The flu kills more people than the coronavirus probably ever will. But yet, 70,000 people a year die because they don't have insurance or they're underinsured. And we're worried about, which rightfully so, we should be a little worried, but I find it weird that, we're more worried about the coronavirus than we are getting people health care. That's the whole thing.
A lot of diseases, not just coronavirus, with what Trump has done to our health
Also,
care.
I got chickenpox when I was younger. I should probably get shingles vaccine again.
Like the CDC and stuff like that. Like, I didn't know how much he'd gutted it until this whole coronavirus thing started. Like,
oh yeah.
He's done so much things like quietly,
Yep. Well, it's gonna.
Well, I say quietly because his antics have caught the attention of the media, and they concentrate on that as opposed to some of the things he'll do like that.
Yeah, for sure. We'll get into it. There's lots to talk about today. I don't know. I'm optimistic about things. Let's just put it that way. Bernie Sanders had a really good week, but I'll be talking about that for a little bit later. You guys ready to go? Speaking of,
yeah, I guess.
I think I got everything ready. If you guys hear any music in the background, I can't help it. There's some shit going on with some loud music, so what
Is
can
there
I do?
porno being filmed next door?
I wish, man. I'd head on over and
want to do a Joker of the Week segment because I have a Joker of the Week.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go. All right, you ready to go, Eric?
Yeah.
You ready to go? Break.
Sure.
Eric, if you have a hard time with the news, Break and I can take it. I know you're not feeling the greatest, so just let me know if you need.
Oh, there's so little that I think it's fine.
Okay. All right, here we go, guys. And welcome, everybody, to episode 580 of RPGrinders. I'm your host, Frank Branches, alongside my trusty cohorts, Eric the Great, Breakman the Bold. Gentlemen, how are you?
Yeah.
I'm better than last week, but, I don't know. It's like, instead of dealing with a certain kind of bullshit with my cold, I'm dealing with a different kind of bullshit.
Yeah. You've been having a rough week health-wise, man. Just hope you don't catch that coronavirus. We were talking off air a little bit about it, and we'll get to a lot of that and more. We got a jam-packed show for you all today. No interviews. I know last week.
If you ask me, I think my workplace needs to be sterilized because that's probably where I've gotten my cold. I only had a cold about 2 to 3 weeks ago before.
Yeah.
So
a lot of workplaces need to do that. Go wash your hands, everybody. You know how many people, if I'm in a public restroom, how many people don't wash their hands? It's fucking gross, man.
It is. There's I don't touch the handles of the doors, just because I've been in the bathroom and somehow take a shit, they get up and they just walk out, and I'm like, he touched the door handle, but he.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
I can't get the hell out of here.
You know what? And I can't speak for women. I'm sure women do it at almost the same rate as men, but a lot of fucking men are pigs, man. Yeah. They don't wash their hands after they pee. I've even seen people come right out of the shitter and not wash their hands, and I'm like, you guys are fucking gross. That I usually take
calling men pigs is an insult to pigs, though, because pigs are cleaner.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair point.
You guys are, son of a bitch.
What happened? Oh, I think Breakman just...
His computer rebelled again.
Yeah, I think Break's computer just rebelled. Shit. Okay, we'll wait for Break to get back in. I don't know what's going on, man. It should be a fun-packed... Break, do we still have you, or did you... Yeah, I think Break just... killed out. That fucking sucks, man. Fuck. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. Technical difficulties with Breakman's computer. If anybody knows Windows, I don't know. I can't help Breakman. There's some type of thing that goes on with his computer. It just goes to sleep, and no matter what settings that he messes with, it just doesn't work. So if anybody knows
laptop does that too, but usually... I mean, I did a fresh install of Windows, and it seemed to, mitigate that a bit.
Yeah. If anybody knows how to take care of Windows computers really well, please let Breakman, fill him in on how to take care of that problem, because he's been having some computer
but you know
issues.
what's annoying is that every time Windows 10 updates, it resets your power settings.
Oh.
So you need to make sure your screensaver isn't turning on every 10 minutes and after inactivity.
Maybe that's the thing. I don't know what's going on with Breakman, but anyways, we'll continue on with the news while he's away, and then hopefully he'll get back here real soon. Eric, take it away.
All right.
RPG news. All right, Eric.
Okay, from RPG site, we've got VVVtunia, sorry, set to release in Japan on July 2nd, and there's new gameplay and screenshots, which we can only show you the screenshots, maybe.
I got the video going.
I haven't watched the video.
It looks good. It looks very vibrant, Eric. It's an action RPG. It looks like looks really good.
It's the latest in the Action Unleashed series. They've been doing it's like Idea Factory Compile Heart is developing this. Like before they had hired Hamsoft, but I guess like they don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's basically that series of games, but like now it's taking place in a virtual YouTuber like idol singer world now.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, like if anybody knows what like the virtual YouTube idols are, like two examples I know of off the top of my head would be Kaguya Luna and then Kizuna Ai.
Yeah.
Kizuna Ai actually has like a gaming center where she'll provide commentary to someone playing a game.
Yeah. It looks very vibrant, Eric. It's I don't know how to explain it. Looks really good.
Like if you played like the Four Goddesses online, it plays a lot like that probably.
Yeah. No, it looks good. I mean I never.
Oh wait, this is a third-person shooter, not a hack and slash. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Bernie's in the house. What's up, Bernie?
But although there are melee characters in the game.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that, Eric?
Not really, other than the fact that it's coming out in the summer in Japan, but it has yet to be announced for Angle Soul Glaciation. I hope it's not too long after the Japanese release.
Yeah. Hey, Break, we got you back.
I guess.
Just in time to do the next news story about Final Fantasy, if you have it up, Break.
Yeah, fuck the next news story.
You want me to do it?
No, it's fine.
All right.
Just live from RPG site. Final Fantasy III for the Steam and mobile devices gets an update adding a gallery mode and a sped-up auto battle.
It's weird. Like the only other version of the game that has the auto battle feature is the PSP release, and after all this time, they're only just now adding it to the mobile and PC versions.
I know, so weird.
These versions in the game now include a gallery mode and an auto battle function, which also doubles the speed in battle. The Steam version also has an additional UI tweaks and support for a 21:9 aspect ratio. New language options are also available. Game is currently on sale for $7.99, which is 50% off. 50% off? God damn you and your mobile phone. I know. Sorry, I own this game on a mobile device anyway. I think I got it. I probably paid the same price for it.
Probably. So you're bitching about nothing, really.
I think I bought it on Steam for like maybe $8.
Is it worth it? Is it good? I never played through.
It's an okay port.
It's really like the origins of the job system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If that's what you mean. If you've never played the third one, or you mean you've never played the port?
I never played the third one in general.
I think they made the remake of 3 harder than it probably needed to be, but it's definitely less frustrating than the Famicom original.
Did you play the third one, or was it the remake?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm talking to Frank.
I never played any version of 3. Okay. It was like one of the few
I played the fan translation of the original Famicom release. Yeah,
I never played any of them. Any version of that particular game, unless you're talking Final Fantasy VI, which was named Final Fantasy 3 here, I believe, on the Super Nintendo.
It's so weird because like you can like dedicate your character to becoming a monk or a geomancer, and you can start doing max damage if you level it up enough. But like bosses were still able to easily kill you, so it's got a weird balance issues there.
Yeah. Well, that's to be expected for earlier games in the series. A lot of those early games were off in some way or another, and that's kind of what gave them their charm. Anything else, Break?
Because like the best thing about being a geomancer and leveling that up is like they'll have a skill that they'll randomly use in dungeons called Shadow Flare.
Yeah.
And it's like the 99.9 damage attack.
Yeah. Okay.
And you can get it with pretty good frequency, but like most of the time you'll end up doing about 3,000.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on that, Break?
I hope not.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, no.
All right. Next story comes to us from RPGsite.net. Looks like Brigadine, The Legend of Runeterra, to release for Nintendo Switch on June 25th, a day before Frank Branch's Day. So, if you want to send that my way, then I'll be more than happy to receive it. Retail version to be available through Limited Run Games, the great company that releases limited run games. So there you go. It doesn't have a price on it. There's a video that I'm playing for the chat. So if you're not in chat, you really should have been there so you could see these awesome videos.
Brigadine was such a fun game.
Yeah.
I really loved the hell out of Brigadine.
Yeah, it came out in 98.
This is a sequel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you might
I get that, but this came out in like 98. I'm looking at the store now.
Yep.
It came out in 98.
Yep, 1998. So
it's the developer of the game is the same developer as Final Fantasy 3. The game we were just talking about.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Eric, next story, please.
Hold on.
It's the Code Vein.
Code Vein DLC. Frozen Empress DLC. Yeah, they're really leaning on the Dark Souls because there's in Dark Souls 2 it was the Frozen Lyceum or whatever the fuck it was called.
Yeah.
And then you got the Ashes of Ariandel DLC in the third game, which is mostly snow areas.
Yeah.
As long as it has nothing to do with the Disney movie, I think we shouldn't complain.
I did hear
they're probably borrowing from the Ice Queen part, at least.
And I did hear that they will bring Let It Go to this version of Code Vein. No. So that's the rumor going around, at least, anyway. So if you want to hear that song,
can I excel you? Can I do that?
You could try, but it doesn't work on the on the branch, man.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what else about this, Eric?
Then the next DLC we find out that they're gonna have angels that shoot lasers at you, just like Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, and then next, sharks with lasers. That would be cool. All right, anything else on this?
Angel sharks. Or are they shark angels?
Shark angels, man.
Shark angels shoot laser beams.
Yes. They have halos and wings, and they can fly. And then you mix that.
Sale on the DLC.
And they only speak in Dolphin.
Yep,
I'm
exactly.
waiting for sale on the Season Pass, because they'll probably happen at some point.
Yeah. So anything else on this, Eric?
No.
All right.
But if you want to buy the DLC just by itself, just like the last pack, it's going to be $9.99 plus tax.
Okay. All right, Break, you're up next.
Coming to us live from Silicon Era, Tentum Switch, I guess. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One ports planned for spring 2021. Temtem,
yeah.
Temtem, yeah.
The next part of the roadmap has been released by Crema. I like the name. And there's one bit of news that steals the show. The console's force has been released. The console ports have a release window. While windows are tentative, then why are we even doing this?
I know.
We already mentioned what it was anyway. We already said it was spring 2021. So
the game's a shameless Pokemon clone, and some people are calling it an MMO when it's not really true.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look like a Pokemon clone for sure.
This isn't related to Pokemon in any way, because some of these characters look like they're directly out of Pokemon.
Yeah, I know.
No, they're too generic looking.
That's like a total ripoff.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Some people like that alternative, though. You know, they get kind of...
Yeah, but like, say like in Brake's case, he doesn't have a Switch or PS4. This would be a good alternative.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It would be a good alternative.
For the Xbox people, we get the shitty Pokemon. Yay!
What else you got? Anything else on this break?
Shitty-mon.
Shitty
Gotta catch 'em all. Gonorrhea. Diarrhea. Influenza.
Coronavirus.
So those are the versions of the game.
All right. Anything else on this break?
Let me see if there's anything else I've written. Here are the other Tim update plans for winter 2020 through summer 2021. Some notable elements including Arberry Island and its 30 more standard Tim and Mythical 1 in winter. What am I even saying? And it's 30 more standard Tim and Mythical 1 in winter 2020. I'm reading this verbatim.
Yeah.
An in-game island and different daily and weekly quests in spring 2021, and a third Mythical Tim and Nuzlocke mode in summer 2021.
Yeah,
I still don't know what it is.
It's just different terms for Pokemon, man. That's all. It's just like you said. It's a basic Pokemon clone.
The image kind of breaks it down better. Let's see here. Winter 2020. You get New Island Arberry, 30 new Tim. Okay, I guess those are the Pokemon for this game.
Yeah.
A second.
Yeah, because there's like 150, just like the original Pokemon game, and they're adding more as time goes on.
That is the biggest ripoff I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Club Dojo Wars. I mean, since Ghostbusters ripped off fucking I Want a New Drug. Like, this is like the most blatant ripoff. Trading House. Ranked Matchmaking V2. Spectator Mode V2. Then Spring 2021 console ports 1.1 launch. In-game island. Daily weekly quest. Battle replay system. Cosmetic store. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Summer 2021. Nuzlocke game mode. Third Mythical Tim. Arcade bar. Draft PvP. Cosmetic battle pass.
Sounds like
I do like the idea of a crossplay.
Yeah.
So, cross saving maybe.
Commander
Roots.
Roots.
Like PvP in it.
Yeah. Commander Roots in chat. Welcome on in. Also, Freak5 just joined us. Welcome, Freak5. Bernie's in chat as well. Thanks everybody for joining. Really appreciate it. It just, like you said, it's just a Pokemon knockoff, but it looks cute. Looks alright. No gameplay. I'm sure it plays a lot like Pokemon. But anything else on that break? No.
Really?
Nothing.
We're still talking about this game?
Yeah. All right.
I'm sorry, I moved on.
Let's move on to some somber news, guys. Konami code creator Kazuhisa Hashimoto has passed away. Yeah, you guys remember the up, down, left, right, BA start code. That's sad news. News was delivered by
The code originally was there for the purposes of the developers, so they could test bugs and stuff.
Well, they
could skip to the later levels with ease.
Yeah,
things like that. They weren't put in for our benefit.
No. News was delivered by Yuji Takanouchi, former music creator who worked with Hashimoto back then at Konami. Cause of death was not specified. I can already hear the coronavirus people screaming that right now. Konami Code, also nicknamed the Contra Code due to the popularity of the series on the NES, was inserted by Hashimoto during the development on Gradius when creating the home port for the NES. It was added for testing purposes as he found the game too hard to play. Well, join the club there. While Konami realized the code was still in the game after release, it was left alone as removing it could add new bugs.
Yeah, kind of like what Bethesda does on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And it became legendary. I mean, that code, everybody knows the code.
Yeah, who didn't use that or doesn't know that code? Like,
Konami did a fuck you in Gradius 3, though, by making the Konami code actually reduce your lives.
Yeah. So it's really cool. I mean, there's
an alternate version you have to put in to get the actual plus live code.
I guess
That's pretty funny.
I guess if you're going to go out, like, being remembered as like something like as iconic as that code is actually, it's kind of cool. It's kind of a cool thing. I mean, when I die, I'm gonna be remembered as the guy who came up with RPGrinders. That's what I'm gonna be remembered at. Ugh, my legacy. Ugh. Okay. Eric, you get the honor of the last story.
Last story is that Dragon Quest of the Stars is now available globally for the smartphone users.
Okay.
And it is a Dragon Quest mobile game with some gacha elements.
Of course. I mean, can any?
But I do like the idea of them making like an SD character designs that are reminiscent of Dragon Quest IX.
Yeah. I guess. I mean, these mobile games with the gacha shit, can't they just make games for mobile and just charge us a fee
At
and
least
be
it's
done
free
with
to
it?
play, so you don't have to pay Square for it.
Yeah, I know, but still, man. I mean, come on.
I mean, you could. So this is a free to play game, so I'll just add this to my list because I'll get to it.
I think it is. I need to see.
Like Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy Record Keeper, I can play it for years and years and years, never give them a dime.
It's weird. Like I've been
now to see if it's free.
I think I've been playing MPQ as long as you've been playing Record Keeper, Breakman. And I did at one point. I bought $20 worth of stuff just because I wanted to support the game because I thought it was that cool of a match 3 game, with superheroes. But I agree with you for the most part. Just play the game. I mean,
yeah, it just says get here. It doesn't list a price.
Yeah.
And so like
South Park,
it's probably like buying gems and shit, just like Record Keeper.
What's that, Break?
Play these free games all the time, not giving them a dime. I can't believe this future we live in.
Yeah, free games, man.
So I saw somebody on my Twitter account make a character that they made them look exactly like 18 and called it 18.
Yeah. No gameplay, but I mean, it's probably going to be more Dragon Quest, which is always a good thing, but I don't know. I like to see gameplay and trailers and stuff like that, but whatever. Okay, that is the news, guys. So, homie discounts this week. The Plus games for PlayStation this week include. I think this is actually a solid month. It includes Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. There's the usual PlayStation sales. They have a ton of sales right now. They always do. Moving on to Xbox. Nintendo doesn't have anything really special going on. Xbox free games with gold this month include Batman, The Enemy Within. That's a great one. Shantae. I don't know which Shantae that is, Eric. I can't quite see.
I think it's Half Genie Hero.
Okay, that's a great game. You also get Castlevania 2 and Sonic Generations, so that's a...
Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2, which you shouldn't play.
Yeah, I mean, it's a solid lineup.
Yeah, you should specify on that one, because you say Castlevania 2, and I'm like, oh, like in the Legacy... Oh, no, he means Lord of Shadows.
No, definitely Lord of Shadows. It's a horrible game.
But in the Xbox 360 version, which is actually 2-disc.
Yeah, yeah. But still, I mean... It's fairly solid. I think I would give the edge to... God, that's really tough because Shantae's a really
Generations,
good...
though.
Yeah, I know. Sonic
I have it on PC, but...
I think I give the slight edge to PlayStation this month because they did give us Shadow of the Colossus, which that remake is phenomenal. It's a great remake. Highly recommended. But that's a solid Xbox lineup. Batman, Enemy Within, the Telltale game, and Shantae, definitely worth it. So... Good stuff from both companies this year, so kudos to both of them. Let's move on to Breakman. Should I?
Next time I get multiple questions, I should only do one at a time because then this happens. Where there's nothing in the mailbox and there's just nothing to talk about.
Darn it! So nothing in Dear Breakman this week. If you want to send Breakman a question, hashtag Dear Breakman to @RPGrinders on Twitter.
I thought we gave excellent advice last time to get men out of getting in trouble.
You know what it was, Breakman? You gave such good advice that nobody has any more problems anymore. You got to kind of let it stew a little bit,
You're right. Shit, I got worse advice. Slightly less better.
Yeah, I mean you're saving the world one listener at a time. Okay, let's move on to
Inquiring Minds want to know.
Inquiring Minds want to know what you've been playing, Breakman.
Well, I already mentioned the half of what I've been playing. I've also been playing Final Fantasy 15. I haven't advanced the story much. I've mostly been hunting and just really exploring the world. I've gotten past the first part. I mean, I can go farther. You can kind of go back to it because there's the upgrades at the Hammerhead station, and I keep going back there because Cindy has a quest for me. Like every time I'm back there, like, good lord, like what? Is there anything? God damn, can you do something for yourself, woman? Jesus.
Oh, I forgot a homie discount I was supposed to add, but
that's all right.
I can get back to it once we get back to Stanko's and Sweetos, I guess.
Okay. What else?
But I do like a lot of the talking has gotten better. Like there are more conversations that have going on. Like the one character has a total crush on Cindy, so like he's happy to help her. The rest of them are kind of annoyed that it's like, God damn it, like gotta go do it again.
Yeah.
And you can see like their friendship, like that, how well they get along and stuff like that. Although, why are they gonna be so mean to poor Specs? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call him Specs because that's what they call him. Like, just because he's got glasses, they call him Specs. Like,
spoiler that they all die in the end, man. You know, so I didn't want to spoil it for you, but I think I had to, Breakman. You know, I mean that's why they're so mean to each other. Yeah. All right, what else you been playing, Break? I kind of want to get into Final Fantasy 15, man. Looks really cool. Let's see. Freak says if we wanted to send Breakman questions, Break would have something to answer. That's so mean of you, Freak 5. How dare you?
What he's thinking of me? How is that mean? I'm excited.
Oh, okay. Well, be excited, but I'm still gonna exile Freak 5. It's Freak 5. All right. What else you been playing, man?
No, just the Final Fantasy, and I like how chatty your characters are now, except for the whining. And I was wrong when I said it was like mostly Prompto. It's more Noctis. Noctis does the most complaining.
Yeah.
I always like, oh god, do we have to do this?
Yeah.
Stuff
well,
like that.
I always said that based on my experience, and it was Prompto that was complaining more.
Yeah, Prompto complains a lot. Don't get me wrong, but for me, it seems.
Well, they're about the same age, so that's why.
My God, it's hot out here. Lose the jacket. I thought that was Pronto I was talking to. No, he was talking to Noctis. So I lost the jacket, and then he starts complaining he's cold. I'm like, God damn it!
You can't have it both ways,
even
man.
Titus was better than you.
I know, like Noctis, for fuck's sake, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you fucking spoiled little prince shit. Okay, whatever, dude.
All right, Eric, what you been playing, man?
I've been playing more Seven Scarlet. I finished Yakuza 3. I haven't read the review for it yet, but because I haven't felt like myself all week. But hopefully I go to that tomorrow or Sunday. Otherwise, I moved on to Yakuza 4.
Okay.
And that's all I've really been playing. I did play a little bit of the 3000th Duel, which we talked about a while ago.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's it.
Okay. Played a little bit of MPQ, of course, and I played Shadow of Mordor, and I heard nothing but good things, but so far I have nothing but bad things to say about that fucking game, man. Like, I don't understand.
Well, you'll hate Shadow of War then.
Well, I just started it, so I always give a game a good chance. Like, I'll spend at least 10 hours in the game before I decide, enough is enough and quit out of it. But Shadow of Mordor might be an exception, man. I have no clue what...
I've heard they're like the open worlds of open world games, and they're just bland because of that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing I was gonna say, Eric. It's an open world game, but like I understand like where you're supposed to go because things are marked on the map and stuff like that, but like they don't do a real good tutorial job of telling you how you can interrogate orcs and all this other shit, and it's like they throw you right into the middle of a bunch of orcs and they expect you to get around. Like, what am I supposed to do? Stealth the whole way? Like, I just don't understand, man. Like, I tried like stealthing my way to the first objective, but like of course I got spotted, and then I had like 50,000 orcs on me, and that was it. I was like, Jesus Christ, man, this is unbelievable. I don't understand how a game can throw you right in the middle of the fire like that. I mean, even Dragon Age won't do that to you. You have to like actively go into the fire in order to be fried. Here they
yeah. Like what's that? The Batman Arkham Asylum. Like at the end, right before you go up to face the Joker. Like you walk down the hallway surrounded by enemies. You choose whether you want to fight them or not.
Yeah.
You know, you can throw yourself into the fire, but to throw you into the fire and not let you.
It's jarring, man. Like I know I'm not the greatest gamer in the world, but I know I'm better than average. I'm fairly average. I
stealthed my whole way through the Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
But if I was forced into something that I couldn't beat, I'd quit the game.
Yeah, and that's I mean that's kind of how I'm feeling, Break. Like seriously, like it doesn't ease you.
That's how I felt like Horizon Zero Dawn does its bandits. It's like, this is why I lowered the difficulty from normal to whatever, because I don't want to deal with all that nonsense.
Yeah, it's the same here, Eric. I wish there was a difficulty setting on Mordor, because I don't know, maybe I'm just missing something. Like I know what to do and how to do it, but I don't know. It's just it.
There's also something that bugged me about Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah, I mean it's sort of to me it's worse than Bloodborne. At least Bloodborne I know what I'm getting into, but Shadow of Mordor is supposed to be something that you should be able to handle fairly easily. But I don't know, man. I don't find it really fun right now. Like I'm thinking when I level up and I kind of get the system, things might ease out, but that might take a while, and by that time I might get disinterested and never play it again, which sucks because I do have Shadow of War. So I wanted to get into Shadow of Mordor, beat that by next week, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. I think I'll play something else, but that's what I've been playing, so that's about it. Let's move on to our reviews.
RPGrinders reviews.
All right, Break, do you have anything to review this week?
Let's see. Did you guys watch that Dragon Quest movie yet?
I did.
I did not, but you can go ahead.
Did not. I don't want to. There's like a huge spoiler towards the very end of the movie. That completely threw me off and ruined my enjoyment of the movie. Because up until that point, I was really enjoying Dragon Quest V.
It doesn't bother me. In fact, it's probably supposed to be a joke. Cause like, all you whiny grandpa gamers are gonna.
Dude, you don't spoil this. Don't spoil it.
Yeah,
it's making fun of you, those types of people.
How dare you? How dare you make fun of me, Eric? I resent that.
So the movie is basically it isn't basically, it is Dragon Quest V. Why do I keep saying Final Fantasy? It's Dragon Quest V, the entire story.
Ooh,
they cut
nice.
some things out to make room and changed a few things, but it is for the most part Dragon Quest V.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, cool.
So if you don't know, for obvious we know.
The English dubbing syncing is kind of bad, but it's not nearly as bad as the Pokemon remake of the first movie.
Yeah.
But you start as a young boy, and I think they kind of skip right. Well, no, they do show him as a young boy, and then what happens? He gets captured by monsters and thrown into slavery, and from there, you watch him grow up, and
they cut the fat of the story a little bit because you don't see him go to the fairy world with Bianca and stuff.
Yeah,
they mention their escapade at that haunted castle. Yeah, but they kind of glazed over most of that.
They showed 8-bit animations for that at the beginning. There's a couple minutes. It goes on a little too long, maybe. But
I might as well do my review of that now while we're talking about it.
Yeah. So, but what else was I gonna say with it? Some of the things they changed, at one point in the game, you get to choose who you're gonna marry. They cut out one of the sisters, so there's only 2 characters.
Oh, she's only in the DS version. That's why.
Oh, she is? I didn't know that. Okay, and then
although I think they put aspects of her personality in Bianca.
Is the daughter also in the DS version and not the original?
Huh?
They cut the daughter out too. Is she not in the original?
What daughter? Oh, the game? No, yes. She's in the game. Okay. But I think they cut her out because her inclusion in the game isn't really significant, unfortunately.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Freak5 says you get to fuck in DQ5, don't you?
He has 2 kids.
Yes. That is true. At least twice you get to do that.
I think the idea in the game is they wanted to have a 4-person human party because In the original, you can only have 3, and you had an extra character you couldn't use.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, it didn't bother me that she wasn't in there. It was noticeable for me. Like, wait, they're just okay. But I was thinking about this. The hero, his journey basically ends when he's 11. His life peaks when he's 11. What the fuck is he gonna do from there?
Yeah.
Well, I saved the world now.
It's a tough fact to follow,
man.
Yeah.
Be like Dragon Quest 9 and just go town to town and solve other people's problems.
Yeah, it's like, can I help you at this town? Well, all the monsters dead. But that cat stuck off in the tree. God damn it!
It's like that movie Ender's Game, man. I love that movie. It didn't do good.
Actually,
at
he's
the,
not even
the box
11 because
office,
like he basically was a baby when
I was just guessing his age.
It's just like
he's actually only 8.
It's just
not even worse. Like,
it's just like that movie Ender's Game. I don't know if you guys saw that, but what is there left for that kid to do after he does? I don't want to spoil the movie if you haven't seen it, but it's a great movie. But what does that kid do after he does what he does? You know, it's like crazy, but whatever. All right.
The more I think about it, I did like it. It just that thing at the end really just threw me off. But for the most part, I really did enjoy it.
Yeah. All right. So, what are you giving your story, Dragon Quest?
I give it a thumbs up. What's Sarah giving it? Because do your review. Your review. I'm sorry.
Well, I think I'm done talking about it, so I'm just gonna do the score. I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
Okay, that sounds fair.
7.5 sounds about right for me too. If they didn't have that thing in there, I'd say 8.5 for me, because it's like of the Dragon Quest, it was probably my favorite story, and because you watch a character grow from a child to a father and a family man and stuff like that. Like, you get through his whole life, which is cool.
Yeah. Wyland says, I had to rewatch the Candyman trailer again when someone mentioned that Tony Todd was in there. Yeah, I noticed that. I saw that Candyman trailer during when I saw Invisible Man, and I noticed that Wyland in that actually was really, really exciting. But I'll get to Invisible Man here in a second.
I am worried about saying Invisible Man looked actually the trailer actually looked decent. I hate saying that because every other Invisible Man movie has been a total letdown or shitstorm.
Break, you're going to want to listen to my review, but I'll do it after.
God, I mean, that Kevin Bacon Hollow Man movie was one of the worst turds of the fucking movie. Like, God damn it, I couldn't get out of the movie theater fast enough.
Yeah, dude, you're going to want to stick around for my review of The Invisible Man. What else you got, Eric? You got some more reviews?
I got a review of Knives Out along with Midsommar and Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. Okay. Which one do you want first?
Let's do Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution is a CG remake of Pokemon the first movie or Mewtwo Strikes Back. Or it's just the subtitle for the first movie. I think in Japan it was just called Mewtwo Strikes Back. But it is, I have to say, basically, what was the point if you weren't going to take the chance to actually improve on elements of the movie in any significant capacity?
Yeah.
Because the character designs aren't exactly the greatest. The animation for the CG isn't the greatest. But I will say that at least all the kids, Brock and Misty and Ash, all look like their ages they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's not. It's like, why does this even exist? And I can only think of one reason why it exists, because Netflix wanted a Pokemon movie on there because they only have a handful of Pokemon movies on the service now. Yeah, if you want to watch the other ones, you'll have to either go to Disney Plus or Hulu.
Yeah.
But because like Pokemon anything on Netflix is like limited to like 1 or 2 series.
Yeah.
But I'm not even entirely sure on Pokemon Disney Plus. I think just Sun and Moon Ultra and a few of the seasons leading up to that are on there. But
so let's get to the review, Eric, of Mewtwo.
I watched the English dub for a bit until I realized that the lip syncing was very, very off. Like, even more off than Your Stories was. And it's like, yeah, I can't watch it like this because it's stupid looking. So I put it on Japanese, which is, I guess, an advantage to this version existing. Um. Anyways, it definitely wasn't made with any other voice acting than English, or maybe the English dub team doesn't have very good voice direction because they didn't put in the effort to match the lip movements that well.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna have to give this movie a 6. I'd give the original probably a 4 because it wasn't that good of a movie to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But they left Ash's quote unquote death scene where he gets turned into stone in, but like he looks more like he's turned into a metal statue instead.
Yeah,
because they changed the color somehow.
Okay.
But apparently it's like Dr. Stone, where all you need is like a certain mixture of chemicals that originate from Pokemon tears to undo the psychic fuckery that happened when he got hit with 2 psychic blasts.
Yeah. Okay, so 6 out of 10. Breakman, do we have you back? Do we have Breakman back?
I think we broke Breakman. I don't know.
All right.
Hello?
Oh, you're here. Okay. We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I don't hear anything. God damn it.
Wait, why do you have Windows 8 break?
I know. We can hear you, Breakman, but you can't
I'm gonna
hear
hang
us.
up. Call me back.
Okay.
If you hear me. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I'll call you back. All right, so move on to your next review, Eric.
Yeah, I watched Knives Out, which is weird because you can still see it in theaters and it's available on disc right now because some theaters are still screening this movie.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you guys this time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
But it is a good alternative to those who are craving another Clue-like experience where the murder whodunit mystery. But it's funny seeing Daniel Craig talk like a Southern Foghorn Leghorn character. But it's also got a nice anti-eat the rich, or let's eat the rich message, plus like a pro-immigration reform message.
Does Steven Tyler show up?
Huh?
Just say no, Eric, and continue with the review.
Okay, well, I'm less interested, but okay.
All right, continue on, Eric.
Anyways, the only problem I have with the movie is that you could basically tell who the perpetrator was.
Yeah. Okay, so it was
just weird because, like, I don't think he was. Well, the perpetrator didn't actually do the murder, but like, technically he did. He made things happen that would lead to a murder.
Yeah. Real quickly, I want to catch up on chat. Wyland's not happy about Breakman's assessment of Hollow Man. He says Hollow Man's great.
Apparently not.
Shut your fucking mouth, son, is what he was passionate about it, Breakman. So, and he says you're exiled from reality. So there you go.
And not only that, when I got kicked, what did he say?
He said, "That's what you get.
Yeah.
That's what you get." So,
anyways, the Knives Out, I'm giving it a 9.
All right, 9 out of 10 for Knives Out. That's sounds good, man. I want to watch it, but I'll wait.
And I hope there's more sequels. I think they already greenlit a sequel, but or at least he wants to do one. But
okay.
Anyways, Midsommar, it is basically, let's do Hereditary, but let's do it in the Netherlands.
Yeah. That's a fair assessment. Which is fine. Hereditary is one of the best movies that I've seen in a long time. So,
it's also a lot more like The Witch than Hereditary was.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what's your breakdown of Midsommar, Eric?
Fucked up.
Yeah, it's a slow burn movie for sure. I saw Midsommar at the theater.
No, I said the Netherlands. I meant Sweden. Sorry, or that area.
Yeah,
Sweden.
Yes, Sweden. Sweden. Yeah.
We're from Sweden.
Oh, don't get me started, Breakman.
Sorry.
All right, so what's your review of Midsommar, Eric?
Very unsettling, and it's a good message on why culture just in general sucks most of the time.
Yeah.
And fuck communes.
Yeah, I agree with all of those assessments. It's also it's kind of reminiscent of The Wicker Man.
But at the same time, it's kind of like Christian horrors, because like, oh, look at these pagan religious people.
Yeah.
And they're fucked up.
Yeah, it's kind of a semi love note to Wicker Man, if you can kind of.
I was gonna say that next, but like, you took it from me.
Yeah. No, it's kind of
because like I haven't seen Wicker Man, but it's like this kind of reminds me based on footage I've seen of that movie and from. Like, I was watching the Christian horror movie from Renegade Cut, and they include footage from the Wicker Man movies.
Yeah, the Wicker...
Like the original and the remake.
The original is really good. Don't bother with the Nicolas Cage piece of shit Wicker Man remake. It's awful, but it's good. I liked Midsommar. I think I gave Midsommar an 8 out of 10 when I reviewed it.
I'll give it that, too.
Yeah, I think it's a fine movie. It's unsettling is a good way to put it, Eric, for sure. All right, any other reviews, Eric?
No. I was gonna try to watch the Ni no Kuni movie, but I didn't have time.
Yeah. I watched Invisible Man last night, and I'm not gonna do any spoilers.
Is the Invisible Man in your bed? Do you think called Ghostbusters?
Not as far as I know, but I'm gonna tell you guys something that I don't say very often. This was a great movie. All right, this is. I think it was Breakman. You said I want a scary Invisible Man movie. This movie will scare the shit out of anybody that sees it in the theater for sure. So I highly recommend seeing it in the theater because the audio cues in this movie are excellent. The sound editing is on point, perfect. It's about as good as any movie I've ever heard in my life in the theater. This Invisible Man is genuinely fucking scary because it plays on more of a suspenseful. It comes from a woman's point of view who's in an abusive relationship type thing, and man, this movie plays out really good. If you can imagine taking the sensibility of the old Invisible Man, updating it into the 21st century with a shit ton of jump scares, which was surprising to me. I had no idea how many jump scares were going to be in this movie. I did not expect that. Plus, it had atmospheric scares, and it was a genuinely scary movie, and I don't say that very often. I'm the horror guru on this show. I love horror movies. I live for horror movies, and The Invisible Man got under my skin like almost no other movie. The last movie that kind of got under my skin like this was Get Out, but this one, it's an excellent version of Invisible Man. If you have some spare time this weekend, go out and support this movie because we need more movies like this. And this movie should have been used as the jumping point for the Dark Universe for Universal, because they could have easily translated this movie into a whole world of Dracula and Wolfman and all the other deals out there. So I hardly ever make a recommendation to see a movie in a theater that doesn't deserve it. This one deserves all of that and more. I hope that everybody supports this movie this weekend and it becomes the number one movie of the week, because man, oh man, is this a great movie. I give this movie the only flaws in this movie I can say is that I want more. I mean, there's really not much else. There's some. It's definitely an adult movie. It's not no kid It's not a kid.
I still don't hear you guys. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know what.
You
can't. Okay, I'll hang up on you, Break. But Break's having some issues, man. I don't know what's going on with his computer. But so yeah, I give it a 9.5 out of 10. There's a couple of pacing issues with this movie that I would have done slightly different, but that's such a minor complaint. It's almost a perfect movie. And the actress, I can't remember the actress's name. Do you hear us now, Break?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know the actress' name, but she's in The Handmaid's Tale, that series on, I think it's on Hulu, and it's a great series, but she is an excellent actress. The guy that plays her husband that she tries to escape, it plays a creepy dude, which is spot on for this movie. Everybody in this movie is pitch perfect. I can't recommend it enough. Brakeman, go see Invisible Man. Take Mrs. Brakeman. Take a bunch of people. Like I honestly was super surprised. I did not expect what I got out of this movie. It is a genuine scary movie. 9.5 out of 10 for Invisible Man. Highly recommend watching it. And I hope that they do an extended universe, like a dark universe like they were planning with all the other monsters, and include this movie, because this movie is fantastic. I can't say enough about it, Break. You were wondering about this movie. You think it seemed scary. You aren't prepared for what you see in this movie. It is, or don't see in this movie. It's great. It's a great movie.
The previews look good. That's why I was kind of cautiously curious.
Yeah, definitely watch it, man. It's an all-time great remake. I would put it up there. Bernie and I were talking about like great remakes. I thought the Evil Dead remake was really good, although different. This is a great remake. I put it up there with the great remakes of all time, man. Invisible Man is fantastic. Okay. I think that's it for reviews. Anybody have a Heiscapade this week that they want to throw out there? I didn't have one this week.
I have one.
This computer that kept crashing on me while I was on a podcast. It was the greatest.
High.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Eric, you have a Heiscapade. Let me introduce Heiscapade.
Some fucker clown face that I responded to about them claiming. One of those idiots that is claiming that Birds of Prey was doing bad because of Sonic or something.
Oh God, yeah.
It's like, first of all, it didn't do bad.
Yeah.
And second of all, Gail Simone isn't the director of the movie, so it's not their movie.
Yeah.
So you're trying to do a hate campaign against a person who has nothing to do with it. Kind of like how Gamergate went. Try to do a hate campaign against somebody who worked at Nintendo.
I don't know why.
It didn't have anything to do with Treehouse.
I don't know why people hate.
It's like I could see right through you, and you're trying to twist certain facts to fit your complete delusion because it's not even facts.
I don't understand why people hate Gail Simone so bad. Like, she's not the worst. I've seen way worse writers and stuff of comics. It's just crazy. Wyland's poking fun at you, Breakman. He's like, you stood by your comment? Told ya. So, yeah.
Yes.
All right. By the way, Wyland, Invisible Man is a much better movie than Hollow Man. And I didn't mind Hollow Man, but Invisible Man is
now we need a movie
better.
Where they fight each other.
Yeah. This Invisible Man would probably kick his ass, man. It's really good. But okay.
You call the Ghostbusters to kill him in the movie?
Yeah. All right. Breakman, you said you had a Heiscapade.
I just said it. My computer just kept going into sleep mode.
Yeah. That's. I don't know why that computer does that, man. You know.
I don't know. I'm right now. I'm looking because I'm irritated.
Yeah. Freak5 says, I watched this show this week, Miracle Workers. I have no idea what that is. But let's move on to everybody's favorite segment.
What is it?
Stinko of the Week.
All right, Breakman, you're up. Your Stinko of the Week.
My Stinko, I've got a couple of them. There's this orange jackass. Apparently he's the president or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me see here. This week he decided that he is going to fire everyone disloyal to him. Which, in the administration, I keep hearing people, he's allowed to have only people loyal to him in his administration. Okay, fine, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree with that completely because, you want balance, and you want organization, you don't want a president who's getting people behind him saying, yes, sir, yes, sir. You want somebody who's going to listen, to other opinions, and you want other opinions. Anyway, back to what else. He didn't stop there. He's got a task force. He got a college student running a task force, and the goal is to weed out all disloyal people to Trump with all who are federal employees, not just in the government, not just in Washington, throughout the nation. Everybody who's disloyal to Trump.
Yeah, it's really scary, and I called this a long ass time ago, guys. And I'm not gonna be one to say I told you so, because that's not how I am. But I will say that this is yet another step in the wrong direction. You know what I'm saying, Breakman? This is fascism 101. When Hitler, I mean, there's, I don't think it's hyperbole anymore to compare Trump to Hitler. Right at the beginning, when people were saying, oh, he's worse than Hitler and all this, I think it was too premature to say that. But I think there's too many similarities up to this point that command us to look at Trump in a different way, And
if you ask me, he's more like Stalin, but...
Yeah, I understand those.
I don't know if he's really even like either one of them, because something that he has that may be different from Stalin or Hitler is that he isn't well.
Yeah.
I've seen it from too many doctors, too many people with PhDs on Twitter and news cycles all over saying, like, we're watching him on the news, he looks like he has the early signs of dementia or he is on some sort of drug.
You got to caution yourself against that, Breakman, because anybody, even doctors, can be fooled into thinking someone has dementia from afar. I trust their opinion more than the average person, but the problem is we get into this thing where we want a reality that may not be true. You know what I mean? I
can.
That reminds me of
a
Stinko that I need to write down.
Even if he isn't mentally ill, really mentally ill, he's not mentally confident as it is.
No, there's no question about that, Breakman. He really he's really unhinged, and there's no question about it. But the problem with Trump, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, Breakman. He's not the problem. He's a symptom of the major problem. You know what I mean? And it's not. I'm still afraid that he's going to do some things to try to become a dictator. But you guys, a long time ago, made me kind of realize that there are a lot of checks in place, even if a person. Trump's taken it to the extreme where he's crossed a lot of those lines, right? But there's still a couple of those lines left, and one of them is the military, which I think now. I think it's very clear the military is not all pro-Trump. I think the majority is actually anti-Trump. So it would take him, it would take the military backing for the president of the United States to do anything to make himself a king, for instance. You know what I'm saying, Break? I still think there's a chance of that. Don't get me wrong, because if he loses this election, which I actually think he's going to lose this election, especially if what's going on right now continues. But I would not put it past him to try something. You know how there's supposed to be a peaceful transfer of power during the inauguration? I don't put it past him to do something in that regard. I don't know what that is, but there's still those possibilities. But I don't know. I don't mean to keep taking your time break. But...
No, it's fine. Like we're talking about the same thing. We're talking about the guy who wants to be a tyrant. And I guarantee you, if he gets reelected, he's gonna continue doing his like campaigning thing, and he's gonna start. It's gonna start out as joking because he's already done it before, quote unquote joking about wouldn't it be great if they gave me wouldn't it be great if they gave me a third term, and then,
yeah,
at first he's just gonna start mentioning it occasionally, and then a couple years from the election, he's gonna seriously make it try and get into the law where he gets a third term.
Yeah.
And then from there, he's gonna be not wanting to leave.
It's certainly a possibility, Break, but the cool thing is, there's something else going on in politics, which I'll talk about later. But continue.
But if the Democratic Party doesn't flip like the Senate, is what I'm really.
Yeah.
Not only him getting reelected, but if they aren't able to take over the Senate and maybe even lose the House or something stupid like that, basically you're just gonna. I mean, the Republican Party's already said for the most part, yes, we praise him, he is our God.
Yeah,
is there a way to make a mousetrap over Trump? Just put money in it, he'll just go into it, and we just take him away.
No. Put his daughter in it.
Yeah, something like that.
Put his daughter in it in lingerie.
Oh yeah, well, she's...
And then he won't be able to keep his hands off.
Oh, that's true. Ugh,
I mean, seriously, no man has ever joked about wanting to do to his daughter what Trump has joked about, and people still support this guy.
It's really...
he's not really joking. He's not. Have you seen him tell jokes? He's not really joking. He's kind of insinuating that's what he really wants to do.
Yeah. No, I get it, Breakman. I'll talk a little more about that, but I might as well go with mine because it ties into the Orange Cheeto.
I'm saying and Freak says if he tries to run for a third term, Obama should run against him. This is if he flips the Senate and flips the House and keeps control of the Senate. He's basically given free reign to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
But if the Democrats take over the Senate, they're just going to obstruct him in any way they can.
Obama should not run against him, Freak 5. Yeah. Obama was not a great president at all. I'm sorry, he just wasn't. He broke barriers, but that's the best I can say for Obama. He did nothing but deport people at a rate.
I kind of want him as the whoever runs to support because he is extremely popular. I want him just throw his support behind whoever Trump is going up against.
Well, if it's Bernie, you can forget that notion because Obama is not going to support Bernie.
He has to. It's just. Yeah. I mean, when I say he has to, obviously, from my opinion, you've got to, dude. Trump is a threat.
I mean, I understand all this, Breakman, but there's some good news on the horizon that I'll get to in my Sweeto. But let me piggyback off of your Stinko, Breakman, with my Stinko, and feel free to jump in too. But this week, the Orange Cheeto appointed Mike Pence, of all people, as his coronavirus czar. I can't think of anybody worse to be at the head of a scientific think tank than Mike Pence. The only person that I could think of that would be worse than Mike Pence at this job would be somebody that believes in the flat Earth theory. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say somebody with the last name Trump.
Yeah. Yeah.
If we were, thank God we're not in China. If Mike Pence was in charge, we'd all be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single person in China would get infected with the virus before he was decided that we should.
Let's not forget how Pence in his own state.
Pray it away.
Yeah.
Let's not forget how Pence in his own state.
That's what
made HIV go balloon.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to pray it away.
Yeah.
That was one of the big things. We're gonna, we need to consult God and we need to pray this away because that's how you spread disease.
Remember how Rick Perry wanted to pray for the droughts to be fixed?
Yeah. Yeah. This is the thing.
Go ahead. You believe in God, pray. Go ahead, but don't make that as your policy. Especially as a politician. Separates the church and state. You're supposed to have, whereas people they give medicine and they help.
Yeah, doctors.
Oh, what are they? They're
scientists.
Prevalent and they're the real heroes for the most part.
Yep, doctors, scientists, people
even
like
if
that.
Ben Carson is so stupid he is, at least is a doctor.
Yeah, I know.
So that would have been better than Pence.
Yeah, I could have even seen that. If Trump appointed that moron Ben Carson, it would have been a million times better as Pence, because at least he has some medical knowledge. I mean, he was a brilliant brain surgeon apparently. So, I mean, I could have seen that. But somebody like Mike Pence, of all the people, I couldn't think of anybody worse because of just what you said, Breakman. He's a fucking evangelical nut job that believes you can just pray the gay away and pray the viruses away. You can't. I mean, that's not how it works in the real world. There is a separation of church and state, and there should be a separation of church and state for this reason. This is a very good reason for that. Weiland says the gays did it. Mike Pence, head of the coronavirus task force. Yeah.
Are they gonna take military outfits and put the corona task force on them now?
And look at like William Barr, for instance, the DOJ. Like they're supposed to be apolitical.
They're not.
Like no politics. And now we got Mike Barr talking, or William Barr, sorry, talking about.
Let's not forget the nonsense that Fox News usually does.
William Barr, a.k.a. Evil Fred Flintstone.
Well, William Barr talking about like how, if we were all praying and we got religion more involved, that would take down the civil discourse and stuff.
No, it wouldn't.
Like he's the dad of the DOJ.
Yeah, I know.
Like you were supposed to be the #1 cop. What are you're talking about religion?
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird, Breakman.
You're basically telling us we all need to be Christian, or we're all like this city or this country's going to hell. Is what he was saying.
And that's the other problem with religion and politics. There is more than one religion in this world, or non-religion. What about all the atheists in this world? What about all the people that are Muslim that pray to Allah? What about the Hindus? I mean, I could go on and on. Even within the Christian Christian religion, Christianity, there's several different sects. There's Catholics. Yep. There's the evangelicals. There's the Mormons. There's I could go on and on. There's the Methodist, the Southern Baptist, the Baptist. So. You take a huge risk when you take on this mantle of religion as a shield in this country, and when you mesh politics with religion. It never works, and that's why the founders of the country very specifically said that there should be a separation of church and state. They're not saying don't pray, don't go to church, don't do any of that. They're just saying we need to keep religion out of politics, and religion is exclusively in this country tied to politics with evangelicals. So it's just
it's kind of like we were talking about the pro-lifers that are religious. Like, it's not about pro-life; it's about pro-birth, and as long as they get that, they don't care about anything else.
Yeah, I know, because once they're old enough, they throw them in cages, and by old enough, I mean born.
Yeah. Speaking of separation of church and state, Eric, your stinko of the week.
My stinko is Richard Dawkins has finally lost it.
Well, we knew this years ago, Eric, but what's going on with Richard Dawkins?
Richard, please just retire. It's clear that your brain's no longer working at max capacity.
Like, what's going on? I don't understand.
Has he been seen yelling at clouds?
No, but he basically tried to pull a Neil deGrasse Tyson and saying that the science behind eugenics works. He's trying to say, of course, eugenics is unethical, but the science behind it is true. Only that's not true at all. Eugenics is garbage, pseudo-scientific nonsense.
Eugenics has been disproven over and over and over again.
Part of it is true, and that's probably what he's arguing. But
you could cherry pick.
I don't know why you'd want to die on that hill.
Yeah, I don't understand.
It's you could do tweaks with selective breeding in order to get certain traits, but that comes at a cost, and apparently he doesn't care about that cost as long as this is the kid in classroom that says, well, I was right about this thing.
Yeah, I used to hold Richard Dawkins in very high regard, but after
especially this is especially disappointing because he's an entomologist, which means
Yeah.
you're a biologist of insects.
Yeah, yeah.
You know biology. How are you arguing for eugenics? What the hell happened to you?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened to him, man. I don't know. It was just, it was ridiculous. Brakeman, did you have
I
another?
don't have a link in my summary, but I'll put it in there later. But
Okay.
It's just something that came to mind.
Hey, Brakeman, I didn't mean to skip on you if you had another.
I was just thinking of that now.
Oh, okay.
And you were talking about you're talking about the coronavirus. Like we were also talking about how Trump. I could also mention how Trump's lying about his efforts to take care of it and how significant of a threat it is. He's downplaying it.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, like we on the Japan side with Shinzo Abe, he's taking an extreme stance of closing down all the schools, but he's not actually done anything to combat the virus.
I actually think that's a smart move in Japan, Eric.
Well, yeah, but still, it's like he's done nothing.
It's basically nothing, but I think that's a good first step. Like I at the risk of what, a couple weeks of people being out of school, I think it's a smart move because that's how that's a good chunk.
Done nothing to address.
Yeah,
the Olympics.
I know. I was gonna say, like, he should do other things like, putting out commercials for people to wear masks and washing your hands and educating people on that front. But
or Nancy Pelosi saying like that the vaccine that they were researching should be affordable.
Yeah,
affordable. It should be fucking free.
Yeah,
there's people's lives at stake.
Yeah, we paid for it. It should be fucking free. The taxpayers paid for that.
Like, let's put government taxpayer dollars into funding a vaccine that you have to pay additional money for. What the fuck?
No, that's it's ridiculous, man. I
got a quote. I was reading this, or I was watching his interview before something he did. I guess it was earlier today. I think right before we did the show. But here's a direct quote from our president: "We're ordering a lot of supplies." Talking about the coronavirus, we're ordering a lot of elements that, frankly, we wouldn't be ordering unless it was something like this. But we're ordering a lot of different elements of medical.
Oh boy, I don't.
That sounds like Trump.
Yeah, I mean, the guy is so inarticulate.
Makes absolutely no sense.
I guess we can gather from that, like he's like they actually ordered some ingredients for vaccines. I mean, I guess that's what he's trying to say. I don't know. With him, it could be.
That was what he's trying to say. Like
anything.
It doesn't make any damn sense. And then he went on to start blaming the Democrats for the stock market going down, and then he refused to answer any other questions, and just he's a toddler.
Yeah.
He has temper tantrums and shit. Like, why do we put up with this?
Yeah. Well, you guys want some good news about that, Brakeman? You want some good news? Okay, let's go on to our Sweetos.
Dude, what does my tattoo say?
Sweet.
All right, I'm going to start off this week. I don't normally do it, but it kind of transitions into that. But for the first time in American history, guys, a person has won the first 3 primaries, and that person's Bernie Sanders. And I think that's a huge accomplishment that the news outlets are not talking about. There's definitely a movement going on in this country, guys. And, so Bernie Sanders being the first, and he's got momentum going into South Carolina. The polling isn't great for him in South Carolina, but he could pull off the upset. I'm saying it right here, right now, guys. If Bernie Sanders wins South Carolina tomorrow, he's going to go on to be our nominee, and everybody's going to have to rally around Bernie Sanders because of what Brakeman very, very deftly deduced in his stinko. We got to get rid of Trump. It's time. We have a leader that will address these issues without thinking of it in terms of being a baby, which Trump is definitely a baby. He's inarticulate. He cannot process things in a timely manner. Bernie Sanders is the fucking antidote to Trump. I'm not saying Bernie Sanders is the second coming. I do like a lot of his policy positions. I think he is the most progressive candidate by far. He's definitely the opposite of Trump. And if he wins the nomination, he will absolutely trounce Trump in the general. I have no doubt about it. I'm just worried about the Democratic Party trying to steal it from Bernie in a brokered convention. But I think after Super Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, I don't think I'll have that fear any further. And we can move forward with our lives. We can breathe a sigh of relief. And Break and I won't have anything to talk about in Stinkos every week because, Bernie Sanders is going to ruin that for us, which I think Break and I would welcome with open arms. What do you say, Break? Did we lose Break? I think we lost Break. Yeah, we did lose Break. Let me try to get Breakman back on the line and see if he agrees with me. Man, he's having some computer problems. So what do you think of that, Eric? Bernie wins the first 3 primaries. Going into South Carolina, a little bit behind, but still with a lot of momentum. I mean, a ton of momentum. Do I still have you, Eric?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you were worried about some, about his responses as to Bloomberg, but I mean, honestly, Eric, Bloomberg is not a threat, man. I know we want to say that he's got a ton of money and he's going to be in it till the end, blah, 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 blah.
Bloomberg isn't a problem. It's the rest of the Democratic Party that will try to attack him because of this.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. If he comes out of Super Tuesday with a commanding lead, there ain't shit that the DNC is going to do about it. There's nothing. He's got momentum. He's got everything going on. So, I don't know what to say, man. Let's go to chat. Freak5 says, his Stinko basketball fucked up his DVR. I don't know how that is. 2 shows this week. I go to watch something and it's fucking basketball, not what I recorded. Well, I mean, get cultured, Freak5. Watch some sports. Wyland says, Sweeto, got 4 steelbooks heading my way on Monday. Bumblebee, Shazam, Spider-Man, Far From Home, and Brightburn. Brightburn's an underrated movie, Wyland. I kind of like that movie. Freak5 says his Sweeto, Dunkin' Donuts has snackin' bacon. I don't know what that means, but bacon is always good.
Are they like bacon bites or something?
I guess. I don't know. Explain.
Oh yeah, KFC has a donut sandwich now.
I saw that, and that looks disgusting. As if eating KFC isn't fattening enough, you got to deal with that. All right, let's move on to your Sweeto of the week, Eric. I'm furiously trying to get Break back on the show, but I don't know what's going on here.
I was black. Okay, it's let me pull up the article. I don't think I have it up. This is from blackbusiness.com. And how an engineer has invented a glove that can turn sign language into audible speech.
This is interesting. Tell us more about this, Eric.
Roy Elela, a 25-year-old engineer and inventor from Kenya, has found the ultimate solution to bridging the communication barrier between the deaf and hearing people. He's invented a sign I/O gloves that translate signed hand movements to audible speech so deaf people can talk to even those that understand sign language.
Wow, that is absolutely amazing. I'm surprised this has not come out before, Eric. So this is the first time that somebody's created gloves that actually translate sign language. That's crazy. Like, how does that tech work?
So it says gloves feature sensors mounted on each of the 5 fingers to determine its movements, including how much a finger is bent. The gloves are connected via Bluetooth to an Android app that LL has also invented, which uses text-to-speech function to convert the gestures to vocal speech.
Yeah. That's just
so
amazing.
I'm guessing like the sensors send a signal to the app, and the signal gets translated as probably like something like a wing ding that shows a sign language thing, and then it tells it to make a spell out the word and like with Siri or something.
That's crazy, Eric. I mean, it's got to be refined. Obviously, it's going to have problems at the beginning, but can you imagine the implications of that? Like, I can't tell you the number of times that I've run into
It'd be a good way to teach people sign language.
Well, not only that, teaching sign language, but also like for other people to understand deaf people. Like deaf people have it really difficult. Like when you can't hear yourself, your speech basically goes to hell. So even if you know how to like speak, it sounds like you're unintelligent or there's something wrong with you. If somebody does this and a Siri, for instance, like translates it to some, so that somebody can understand you audibly, like that's a game changer for deaf people, man. That's really, really good. That's excellent. So kudos for sure. I'm trying to get Break back. I don't really know what's going on with Break. I think he might be.
It says here that he was inspired to create the gloves because his family struggled to communicate with their 6-year-old niece who was born deaf.
Wow. It's amazing, and that's definitely a great Sweeto. That's some groundbreaking shit right there. The person that should get like a Medal of Freedom is somebody like that, not somebody like Rush fucking Limbaugh, man. That's really cool. All right, let's I'll keep trying to get Break back, but we'll move on to Free For All. We'll get Break Sweeto when he gets back in, but let's move on to our Free For All.
It's a free for all.
All right, Eric. What I got this week is it's kind of a quick hitter, but it's basically, what is the one game that you regret spending so much time in? Like a game
probably
that
Metal Max Zeno.
Which one?
Metal Max Zeno.
Metal Max Zeno. Why? Why Metal Max Zeno?
Because it's a terrible game of the Metal Max universe. It's the only one we got in English outside of Metal Saga, and even Metal Saga wasn't that great.
Yeah.
But it was still better than Zeno.
Yeah.
But I'm worried that we won't get Zeno Reborn, and I'm hoping Zeno Reborn is everything it should have been.
Yeah.
But I spent so much time in it because there was enough good in it to get me going, but I also regret wasting that time when I could have played something else.
Yeah, see, the mine's going to be kind of surprising, and it's one of my favorite games of all time, Eric, and that's Skyrim. And the reason is because I've bought in almost every goddamn version of that game because I remember it coming out and it being basically the Dungeons and Dragons game I've always wanted. A first-person perspective, and you can go into dungeons. There's interesting stories that are D&D-like, interesting characters, interesting monsters. But I spent so much time in that game, I bought it over and over. I think I got a copy of it on the Xbox that I got to get to. And it's like, why do I keep buying and playing this fucking game and spending hours and hours in it? I already know everything in this game. I know what I'm going to be doing. I know, the general flow of the game. Like, I'm sure there's a few side missions that I missed here and there, but I'm not going to go specifically to search out those particular missions. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but
I think Break might need Windows 10.
Yeah. But yeah, are there any other games like that, Eric, that you kind of, you're like,
Not that I can think of all the top of my head.
Another one is GTA 3. That game, I spent a lot of time in GTA 3, and I don't know why. I never really finished that game. It's one of those, a lot of open world games are like that, where you play them and you spend a lot of time in them, but you never really beat them. Well, GTA 3 was that game for me. Like, I spent way too much time in that game when like you said, Eric, you would have I would have much rather played anything else other than that, man. Like it's a good game. There was no question at the time. It was definitely a groundbreaking game that that everybody liked and super popular, obviously. But it's a game that I don't regret playing because I liked it, but I regret spending so much time when I could have been playing so many other great, RPGs or anything else. Same thing with like I played a little bit of San Andreas and all the GTA games, man. Even a game like Red Dead Redemption, I spent too much time in that game and never beat them. That's the thing about those open world games. There's just too much to do. Wyland says, I think Brake needs to apologize to Kevin Bacon.
I know it's probably not true, but like, as a what if, would you like to see Henry Cavill as the Wolverine?
I wouldn't mind that choice. I think there's better choices. I think he's too tall. Like when I picture Wolverine, like when Hugh Jackman was cast, I was like, I don't know. I mean, obviously it turned out to be a great choice, so what the fuck do I know? But when I envision Wolverine in a movie, Eric, it should be somebody on the shorter side, because I think if I remember correctly, like Wolverine was like, I want to say he was like 5'2", 5'3", like a short, stout, like really buff, short dude. And because that's kind of how Wolverines are, like they're like small but mighty. That's always how I kind of envisioned Wolverine, and I thought they missed the mark with Hugh Jackman. I mean, obviously I was wrong because he was a great Wolverine, but I wouldn't mind if they got somebody like a short, stocky dude to play that role. I think Henry Cavill would be better as like, a bigger,
Sabretooth, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I can't really envision him. Like, I had a hard time with him as a villain in Mission Impossible. I always think of him as more of a good guy than a bad guy, but I don't know. It's an interesting thought experience. I think he would do fine in that role. I think it should go to somebody a little bit shorter. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
I don't know. I don't know of enough actors.
I can't think of anybody short enough to play that role. But I mean, if I had a dream choice for that, it would be somebody short and buff. Maybe somebody like Zac Efron. Like, I could see him playing Wolverine for sure. Like, I don't think he's the greatest actor, but I think if you want the look of the comic, I think he would be pretty good, Yeah, reboot Break. I tried over and over to get Breakman back on. But anyways, I don't know, I guess we could parlay that into a conversation about characters that you would cast, Eric. Like all the X-Men, like, I mean, it has to be Patrick Stewart as Xavier, right? Can you see anybody else taking that role? I mean, maybe they could continue with not Fassbender, but what's that other guy? McAvoy. McAvoy could take over that role. I think that would be fine. He's young enough that he could play that character till he's, in his 50s, 60s, 60 years old. Let's see, Storm. I mean, I thought Halle Berry made a good Storm, but might be a little long in the tooth to play her now. Fuck, I don't even know. Maybe. Fuck, man, that's a tough one. Maybe Lupita Nyong'o. Trying to think of other people. Cyclops. Jeez, that's a tough one to cast as well. I'm wondering what do you guys in the audience think? If you're listening at home, hashtag Dear Breakman to RPGrinders and let them know who you think would make a good Wolverine, or even Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, who would you cast, Eric?
Reed Richards, I'd probably make a
lot of fan art with John Krasinski and Emily Blunt as Sue Storm and Reed Richards. I wouldn't mind that. I think that would work out really well. I mean, I think those two would be. Who would you cast as Thing? I know you could pretty much put anybody in that role, but
Tom Brady, maybe.
Tom Brady, the football player?
No, not Tom Brady. Tom Hardy. Sorry.
Oh, Tom. Oh, ooh, that's an interesting choice. That would definitely.
My brain's going. I need food.
Let's see, Johnny Storm. That would be an interesting one as well. Of course, infamously, Chris Evans was Johnny Storm, wasn't he? Who the fuck would I? Freak Pie says, I was rereading the Dragonlance Chronicles, and I was wondering who should be cast for those characters. Been a while since I've been in the Dragonlance arena of D&D, Freak 5. I much prefer Forgotten Realms, but let's see. Wyatt Russell doesn't look as goofy in that suit here. What Wyatt Russell? Let me take a look at it. Let's see. Falcon. Yeah, that looks better.
What about Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm?
He was Johnny Storm in the reboot, wasn't he? But he played.
I don't mind them using him again though. So.
Yeah, but he's Warmonger, isn't he? Warmonger? Isn't that?
Yeah,
Michael
but
B. Jordan?
I think Warmonger's dead, so it doesn't matter.
I guess. I mean, that would be fine. I think they need to go with somebody younger. What do you think about Robert Pattinson being cast as Batman, Eric?
I don't mind. I mean, he seems to be doing well enough now. I mean, he did The Lighthouse, and he's in this other movie.
Yeah,
I think as long as... I think he's a good actor. He just hasn't gotten many good roles because Twilight probably ruined his career for a while.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, Eric, I was adamant that he should not be the choice of Batman, but after seeing The Lighthouse, the guy's got the acting chops for sure. I did see him in the costume. He looks okay.
Some people are complaining that he's not wearing the cape on the set. It's like, yeah, they're probably CGing it. Because guess what happens when you use real capes? Accidents probably happen.
Yeah. I don't see a problem with him as Batman, man. Now, I really don't know what this movie is going to be about.
There's a reason they made a cape joke in The Incredibles, because capes are impractical.
Yeah.
They look cool, but they're impractical.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I saw him in the suit. I think he looks fine. It did look like he bulked up a little bit. That was the problem that I was bitching about on this show, Eric. I thought he was a little too skinny. I didn't see him packing on the necessary muscle for that role. But from what I've seen, I don't know if they padded that suit or what. But he looks kind of jacked, man. Like I don't have too much of a problem with him.
Tom Holland's kind of jacked now.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I mean, he's got all that Disney millions behind him for that role, man. I don't know, man. Like it's exciting times for superhero fans, that's for sure, man. There's a lot of good shit coming out on Disney Plus. Like for me, when Breakman told me that there was that special going on for 3 years at Disney Plus, I mean that was probably one of the best purchases I've ever made, man. Because I mean, this year alone, we got The Mandalorian and all the Disney movies. I mean, that alone was probably worth the price of admission. But
it was Killmonger, not Warmonger.
Oh yeah, Killmonger. Okay, yeah, that's I thought I said Killmonger. Maybe I said Warmonger, but yeah, he was really good in that role. Shit, I don't know, Eric. I think we got solid choices though. Still having a hard time with Cyclops though. It's got to be like a young. Maybe
that could be Henry Cavill's role. He can play Cyclops.
Yeah, maybe.
I could kind of see him being a dick because Scott's kind of a dick.
Yeah. Freak Pipe says, have any of you watched the new show Lego Masters? No, Freak Pipe. It looks awesome though. I mean, it looks interesting. I mean, it's not something at the top of my list, but is it really worth watching, Freak Pipe? Because I mean, from what I've seen, those people are really cool at Legos. They do good work, but does it play good on TV? Like I couldn't see that show being, anything but just kind of a novelty, kind of thing. But I don't know. Casting is interesting because a lot of times you don't think something will work out and it works out brilliantly. Like
or the perfect choice is ruined by having a terrible director.
That's true too. Or like my big fear now, it's not Robert Pattinson in that Batman movie, but it's the villain. Like who's going to be the villain in that movie? Because I think that's going to determine a lot. I think that'll determine if that movie's
Penguin
gonna
or
be.
Scarecrow, it's probably gonna be either one of those two.
Well, I hope so, because Scarecrow, they got lots of territory. I thought Cillian Murphy was a great Scarecrow, by the way. Like, that was, pretty spot on. But I don't know. Like, I'd like to see a really good version of Mr. Freeze. I think that would be kind of cool, or maybe a really good version of Killer Croc, not that piece of shit that they did in Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Let's just pretend Suicide Squad didn't happen.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
like the second Suicide Squad movie should just pretend the first movie didn't happen.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. I don't know what's going on with the Breakman stuff, but I don't know. I think we're just gonna have to end the show, man, because I can't get break on at all. I've been trying for like the last 20 minutes to get break back on. I really wanted to hear Breakman's take on his Sweeto and stuff like that, but I mean, I guess I could hang around a couple and keep trying, but doesn't seem like it's going to work out for Break this time around. I think he's rebooting. I'll give him a chance to reboot. Once I see him back on, I'll try again. But I guess we can talk about the movies we're excited to see this year. Eric, is there anything you're looking forward to seeing?
Most of the movies I've decided I'm gonna like concentrate on anime movies watching.
Yeah. Well, what are you looking forward to? Anything in particular?
The only ones I know of would be My Hero Academia Heroes Rising, which I plan on seeing tomorrow or Monday, depending on what I can make time for.
Mm-hmm.
And then Children of the Seas after that in April. Yeah. And then there's the remaster of Tokyo Godfathers, which is next week.
Ooh, cool. I want to say aggressive sock is in chat. Welcome on in. Another TV viewer is in chat.
And then there's Made in the Abyss movie 3.
Yeah. A10 is in chat. Commander Root is in chat. Jeff Cakeman 21 is in chat. Welcome on in. Appreciate that.
Fate Stay Night, Heaven or whatever, Heaven's Feel or whatever. Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
Winsock is also in chat. Thanks, Winsock, for joining. Hey, Eric, is this year the year that we finally get that Kong Godzilla movie?
I don't know.
I think it's this year. I'm looking forward to that, man, for sure. Of course, all the superhero movies. Do we have you back, Break?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, cool. We were just talking about movies and stuff, but I want to get back to your Sweeto. We didn't get your Sweeto, Break.
I don't even remember at this point. I'm so irritated. It's
Yeah, you're having a tough time with that computer, man. I don't know what's going on. All right, well, let me ask you this question, Break. We were talking about the one game that you regret spending so much time in. I mentioned Skyrim because I think I have every fucking version of that game known to mankind, and
the Switch version.
I don't have the Switch version, but I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna waste money on it, Eric, because I have so many other versions that were good that and I know that game, so it's like I don't really much care to revisit it that much anymore. Was there a game that you regret spending a lot of time in?
I've spent a lot of time in too many games.
Yeah.
Too many. Let me see. Probably WoW, because I paid for that.
Does my 250 hours in Dragon Quest 9 count? Because I didn't hate it. It just, why did I spend that many hours?
Yeah, I see that with a lot of Final Fantasies I have. Like, wow, I spent that many hours playing this game.
Yeah.
I loved it, but
yeah,
it's a lot of time I spent playing this game.
Yeah, it's like for me, GTA 3 was another one that I never finished, that I spent hours and hours and hours in, and it's like, I mean, I like it. It was a great game, but it's like, God, really? I spent that much time in that game for what, But
I did that with San Andreas.
Yeah.
Love that game, but I got to a point where there was just a stage I couldn't beat, and it's just like, oh, this is a mission stage. Oh.
Yeah. That's the problem with open world games. Like, it's like, to a point, it's like, I mean, how much more of this do I got to deal with? It's like, and especially a game like Mordor. like I have no idea like how to fucking like navigate that game. I guess I just I don't know. I'm not into it, and I love Lord of the Rings, and the gameplay seems okay and stuff like that. But it just I mean, it seems like it's gonna be a huge time suck, and I think I got other shit I'd rather play. A bunch of more RPGs I'd rather play for sure. So.
Pac-Man for Atari, like that was a terrible game. Even playing it once, like I feel ashamed of myself.
Well, I don't because I used to play like that game competitively with my mom, so I kind of have good memories of that movie. But it's like I agree with you, it's a terrible game. You know, that's stupid shit.
Yeah,
Oh
just play
God.
anything other than that version.
Oh God, that version was painful, man. It was so painful.
Yeah, and I defend it today, but I hate E.T. Like I was not a fan of that game at all.
Oh,
But I
God.
it doesn't deserve a lot of the hate it gets. Like it wasn't it was a game that was made in 2 weeks, but it was a game that was a beatable game.
It's
and
better
stuff.
than beat 'em and eat 'em. That's all I can say.
And yeah, and there were Atari games that I played that were so much worse, like the Sword Quest games, for instance. And
Those no, E.T. was God.
I think the Indiana Jones game was pretty bad too.
Yeah. Let's listen to when he like eats the ghost. Hang on, I'm waiting for him to eat the ghost here.
It's farting.
Yeah, this is Pac-Man 2600. Oh God, that game is awful.
Like I'm pretty sure the Coleco version or the Intellivision versions are better.
Yeah.
I need to check this. Freak says, break, with all the computer problems, you should make sure your harmonica is still working.
Oh, how dare you, Freak 5. Son of a
Is it working?
bitch.
Hey, what
Yeah.
are you doing, cat?
It's not
The
working.
harmonica fixed the computer.
Yeah, Wyland says Squad 2 finished filming. I'm intrigued by that movie, but I hope they just remove Killer Croc because I think the design of Killer Croc is just awful. Terrible.
He looks like a gigantic wart instead of a crocodile.
He doesn't look anything like a crocodile. It's awful. It's like they should have CG'd the shit out of Killer Croc and it would have been better, but whatever. All right, I think that's all we got for this show unless you guys have anything else. You have anything else?
I'm trying to think of other games that like I regret spending too much time in. Like I mean, I know there are games that like I just didn't, and I probably played with friends, and that's the only reason I really played it.
Record Keeper, South Park.
No, son of a bitch! I play this
Halo.
by myself. I have a lot of time in Halo games. Yeah, probably way too. I have put way too much time in Halo. That's true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like that. Unreal Championship.
Yeah.
When that came out first, because it was the only Xbox Live game at the time.
Yeah.
So we didn't really have another option. Like first-person shooters.
You know, what was that game that I played? Yeah. I mean, there's like Final Fantasy 13. I spent way too much time. Ah, shit! I got a sneeze. Sorry, guys. I couldn't hit the button in time. But yeah,
all the time I spent playing 2 Human. Like that was wasted time.
Confirmed. Frank has coronavirus confirmed because he's sneezing.
How dare you? Wyland says I don't think Croc is in it. Good, Wyland, because they fucked it up in the first one, man. And Killer Croc is an interesting ass fucking villain in the comics, and they totally fucked that up. You know something interesting, Wyland? I saw Swamp Thing for sale in the stores. I really wish they would have continued with that series. I heard pretty good things about it, but Freak 5's got to go. All right, see you next week, Freak. Thanks for stopping on by. I think that's it. Let's do our plugs. Let's start with you, Breakman.
You can follow me at break_man or at RPGrinders on Twitter, where you can send a question to your Breakman.
Yeah.
And we can answer whatever. And I'm still trying to think. Like I know there are games that I played that it's like I really want. You know, there's games you've played, or at least I've played, where it's like I really want to like this game, but.
Yeah, there's been a few of those, man. Like this, I really wanted to like Shadow of Mordor, but I'm not digging it so far. I'm gonna give it a few more hours, but I don't know. I think after this week, I'm done with Mordor, which sucks because I wanted to play Shadow of War too, but that's obviously not going to happen if I can't even get through fucking Mordor. So,
well, from what I can tell, you don't even need to play Mordor to play War. But why would you want to play one if you play the other? And they're almost exactly the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. Okay, Eric, your plugs, please.
You can find reviews on sites I've written, such as BostonBastardBrigade.com, TotallyGN.com, and VogNetwork.com. And you like what I've written and you want to support me, sending me as little as $1 per month will help me out a lot. And my link is in my profile.
Cool.
On my Twitter, which is at EricRPG.
Yeah, just follow him on Twitter at EricRPG, and all the info for his Patreon is right there. So, anything else, Eric?
Cold suck.
Yeah, they do. I want to thank everybody in chat. Thanks to Aggressive Sock, another TV viewer.
Orange
A10,
Cheeto sucks.
A10, Commander Root, Bernie was in chat. Freak5, our good friend Freak5 was in chat. Good friend Wyland was in chat, and Windsock was in chat. If I missed anybody else, I'm sorry. I'm very limited at what I can see. Sometimes it doesn't show all the chatters. I want to thank all the archive listeners listening on Twitch and YouTube, mostly on Twitch. That's where we get most of our listeners.
I didn't see the movie. Send Amanda Waller back. Is it real size Amanda Waller or Arrowverse Amanda Waller?
I have no idea. I don't know.
You mean like super fat Amanda Waller?
Yeah. Did you see the original?
The Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it.
Amanda Waller, is she a fat woman or is she thin?
She's thin from what I can remember. God, I tried to forget that movie right
So
now.
She's Arrowverse bastardized version of Amanda Waller.
Probably. Okay.
Amanda Waller's supposed to be a fat woman.
Yeah, if you're listening on the archives, thank you so much for listening. Really appreciate it. If you're listening on Twitch, YouTube, on our website, rpgrinders.podbean.com, iTunes, everywhere else, where you can listen to Stitcher. Thanks so much for listening to RP Grinders. Really, really appreciate it. Go out and check out Invisible Man. It's a great movie, and I really think that you guys will enjoy it. It's definitely a scary movie. Don't take the kids to see this one, folks. It's got a lot of heavy adult themes in it, and it's just a really, really solid scary movie. I would put it in the upper echelon of reboots. So not Arrowverse at all. Wyland is saying so.
So they are pretending like Squad 1 didn't happen at all.
Yeah, probably. So thanks so much for listening. Really appreciate it. Anything else, gentlemen? No. Nothing?
No, I'm just afraid my computer's going to kill me or die at any point here. It's going to try and kill me.
Yeah, probably.
It's the Invisible Man is what's going on. He's just sitting here hitting the power button randomly on me.
Yeah, either that or it's going to turn into...
over, I'm dead.
It's going to turn into a chopping mall robot, like in that movie Chopping Mall, and kill you. So... You gotta watch for that.
Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, Maximum Overdrive.
The only movie Stephen King ever directed.
Yeah, for good reason, because it's one of the worst movies ever created. Even though Bernie loves that movie. Okay, thank you guys so much.
I enjoyed that movie. Like, it's not a good. It's by no stretch is it a good movie, but I mean, it has Emilio Estevez like hamming it up and shit.
Awful.
That movie. Like,
it's awful.
It's so absurd.
Huh?
It's awful.
Overdrive. Oh yeah.
It's awful.
Basically, the electronics of the world become alive, and trucks are like in cars and all that are trying to kill the people.
Yeah, and it's awful. It's the worst.
Yes.
Oh, Squad 1 does happen, but I guess we don't need to deal with its stupid parts.
Yeah, I guess, which is like most of the movie. But okay, thanks everybody. I really, really appreciate it. You guys got anything else before we take off? No, nothing.
Not really.
Just this.
Oh, fucking... You had to do it, you son of a bitch. Breakman is the worst co-host ever.
I was trying to hold it for as long as I could. How was that?
That was awful. And Breakman, you're the worst and you're exiled, you son of a bitch. You got... How does it make you feel you got exiled as much as Freak 5 this week, Breakman? How dare you?
I thought I was entertaining everybody with them.
Jesus
I don't
Christ. It's the worst ever.
Here, let me try again.
No! God damn it.
This is computer, will you allow it?
What? How dare you?
If Thermonica somehow fixes the computer.
No, I will not allow it at all.
Let's see if it sounds the same upside down.
How dare... Oh, Jesus Christ, man. You son of a bitch. You just had to do it, didn't you? All right, everybody. Stay safe this weekend. We want to see you back here next week. Until then, we are out. Later, everybody. Have a good weekend.
You know, you might think I forgot, but...
Cowbell!
I know, Cat. You want my attention. Oh, whoops.
All right, everybody in chat, thank you guys so much. You guys are what make this live show a fun show. So thanks, Wyland and Freak and everybody else in there. Really, really appreciate y'all joining the chat. Thank you so much. Gonna end the stream now. So, yeah, later, everybody. Bye. Bye.